When you saw some of that design work yesterday, it was a lot of industrial design, graphic design in the first gallery, showing product design. This is an old school bottle jar opener on the right, just kind of giving you a little bit of practice in a couple of things of the color, texture, and value. And again, as you set up these pencils, the Prismacolor, I'm trying to get an array of these colors looking ahead at the illustration, using the colors brightest to darkest as I go. And this pencil is also an old school pencil for back in photostat days. It says non-photo blue on there. So what would happen is the camera wouldn't be able to pick up this blue color. However, you can see it now. But you can outline this or illustrate this first as you go in a kind of a light color pencil, and as you're looking at this image, just as if you're drawing it in graphite, still trying to find the length, the width, and the height of this. I kept a watermark on there just to show it to you, so we'll see how that holds up. So I'll illustrate a little bit above it. So it's trying to enhance your freehand drawing as well, all the way through this. Cutting across. So it's pretty light. As you can see, here's the top of this, making it a rectangle to find the approximate center. It has the metal handle equidistances there, so that can be an elliptical shape I can cut up. And rather than making the handle perpendicular, just kind of offset it a little bit. So extending this up and curving that. Again, that would be a center line. Just kind of taking an oval shape to build that up and taper that across. Still trying to keep the proportion into that section there. And you can estimate the height or the length of this by putting in some guidelines like that. Like I said, it's relatively light. I can see it. I can heavy it up as I go. And these two clamps, this has a rectangular piece that's curved. So you're trying to indicate all of these extra pieces as you go. And like I said, as you go through, there's many different ways to handle this material, these pencils. So there's a rectangular section. This has kind of these serrated teeth in here. It's kind of elongated there. And then just to heavy some of this up so you can see it, just use that pencil. Now you have the sharpener for your colored pencils there, so you have that at your disposal to build that up. I'm just going to place that in there. Maybe start to use the template once again. Simplify some of this drawing. Building that part up, so you can kind of see it's not too difficult to begin to build this up. Curving that part. Again, you can always tighten this up with a pen. Even a ballpoint pen will work wonders for it. Set them up depending on what straight edge you have. So again, just going to try to emphasize some of this. So it's a little bit of a elongated piece. Building that part up. So just making it so you can see it. Keep everything at the same angle. So there you have it. So just a light sketch, blue line, then just kind of fixing it up, cleaning up those edges there. Now, you obviously have a green background. I'm not going to put the background in, but just using a little bit of the coloring, the yellows and the highlights. So now you're trying to take the shading that you've done and parlay that into the color. So I'm just putting a light yellow piece. I have other colors out here for some of the chipped texture in there, so we'll see how that works. And then this red. And the idea is, depending on the paper you have in your book, is you're trying to mix right on. This is a little bit of a smoother surface. And here. And again, as you build this up, you can see the texture, which I can initially keep and then eliminate as I go through. As far as all the metal, you can actually see some of the colors reflecting in there, so I'm just going to put a little bit of that in there since it's chrome, metal. Just throwing a little bit of yellow onto that surface. I'm going to keep it with blue and black as far as the shading goes. I'm just kind of giving the local color, so I have everything established with some of that color. Here's a little bit of the blue just to show you. Mix that in there. So you can see I have the yellow and the blue mixing it. It's going to give me a little green. And just kind of a painterly approach at first, and then you can heavy this up as it goes through. This part just showing a little bit of the texture coming across. Okay. So as the first pass, now this part I'm just going to, you can, like I said, you can see some of the texture, and now I'm kind of taking it out just to put the color down. And depending on your sketch paper that you have, it'll absorb the pressure that you're putting down on this. Takes a little practice at it. And again, I brought a little bit of blue, just thinking of the color wheel, that's going to be the dark value. So just kind of introducing it to it so that you can see that on top of it. And I also have white that I can mix right over the top of the color, blending that in, and light values of purple, or whatever colors you have that you can simulate that. And like I said, just kind of, it's almost like putting a wash and a watercolor right over the top of it. Same idea, drawing where it has the edges in there. Placing that in. So I have a little bit of the dark value I can get in there too. And the lighter you use it, or the darker that you build it up with, that's going to give you the values to work with. So here I'm just using a blue or a dark value. You can use black as well. Just trying to heavy up those edges right there. And again, here just using a little bit of the blue into the top of that, a little bit of the blue in the reflection. And just kind of going right over there. And here I can mix, I like the red and the blue right on the paper. Coming down here. Mix that part in there. And this part, I'm not going to outline this part, just going to give it a little bit of a stroke on the top. Take a look at this interior rivet, kind of taking a look at how it's shaded. There you go. So kind of, again, I have the yellow. I'm just going to mix on the top of this red to brighten it up. And going back in there with a little bit of the red on the top of that. That's that section in there. And then I can even put in a little bit of a white. The white's not going to come out super opaque. Be aware of that. But it'll almost act as a blending part. But you want to put as much effort, kind of smudges and smears, and gets you a nice mixing of the color into that part.